Hey, welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm your crusty-eyed corpse, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome to another episode of Bloodhaus. How you doing, Josh?
Yay! I'm okay. I was very grumpy, but every time I get on with you, Drusilla, I feel good. I feel happy. It's like a
I'm
nice thing to do.
Yeah, channel all your grumpiness towards me and my bad takes. And you can feel better about yourself that you don't see the world as cynically and awful as I do.
I don't know. We're in a pretty stiff competition in terms of like who's more cynical.
Yeah, well, I get pleasure out of the dumbest things though, which we'll get into on this episode. So it's hit or miss with me.
Yeah,
it's interesting. How you been doing? Have you been watching anything good lately?
Yes, I'm good. I moved and
I know it has a new place.
It's beautiful. But yeah, I have managed to watch some cool things. I watched a childhood favorite of mine, which I haven't seen in about 20 years, the 80s fantasy film Krull, Krull.
I've never seen Krull, and I've been so obsessed with the posters for it for years.
The poster is demented and wonderful. I know that you don't like fantasy films, but it might be worth it just because it's so absolutely insane. It feels European, and like sometimes things just like Neverending Story is like this. Like it's a movie that you watch and you're like, this is such a weird movie. I can't believe I grew up on this, and you're like, oh, it's German.
In this? Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So this movie feels European, but isn't. And it's like kind of weirdly science fiction and fantasy because the bad guys actually come from another world and their castle is a spaceship. And they have like laser guns and stuff. And there's some really cool set pieces. There's like, there's a giant scene where this person is like walking on a big white spider web and there's like a giant crystal spider that's coming up on him, and in the center of the spider web there's a blind like woman who's like a psychic, which is something that we'll talk about for the movie today because I realized this week that one of my favorite horror tropes is a blind psychic.
You don't look now. Yes.
I love a blind psychic. So that's really fun. It's got really beautiful sort of like German, almost like German expressionism sets that are really cool. So it's pretty worth watching.
It's directed by Peter Yates.
Yeah.
Who's like a big American new wave director from the 70s.
Yeah. It also has really a beautiful score. I think, it's considered like a flop, but it's not a bad movie. It's pretty good, I'd say. I think it's just weird and it's not what people were expecting.
The like monster villain design is so insane.
I mean, all of the design is so special and strange and like so different than any kind of like standard Lord of the Rings-ish fantasy design. It's all like it's very weird and strange and wonderful. So it's worth watching for people who like weird movies, but I really enjoyed rewatching it. It's better than I remembered it being, and I recommend it. But more importantly, what's relevant to today's movie is I happened to watch a giallo that I hadn't seen, and it's called Death Walks at Midnight. I know that you've seen it.
Yes.
It's from 1972, directed by Luciano Ercoli.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. It is so gory and so sexy. It has a truly demented setup, which is that there's like a fashion model who has agreed to be part of a photo shoot where she will be trying a new kind of LSD.
Yeah, and then photographed while taking it.
Yeah, but they're going to put a mask on her, they say, which they of course don't. So she's in trouble. She's like the center of all this controversy and blah, blah, blah. But while she's tripping on acid, she witnesses a murder by somebody who is wearing like a metal glove that is essentially a mace. So he punches a woman to death with this spiked glove. It's so gory in a campy way. The whole movie's so stylish. It has these really discordantly atonal moments that are like kind of comedic when it feels inappropriate to be so. It's such a weird movie, but so fun and so stylish.
Really good. Luciano Ercoli, is probably like further down in the rungs of celebrated giallo directors. People like Roberto Lenzi and Sergio Martino are like above him.
Yeah.
But his stuff is fucking good. And the like his Death Walks films, Death Walks at Midnight and Death Walks in High Heels, are really, really fun and really, really stylish. And they're kind of like almost like the epitome of that era of like early 70s gialli of like hot ladies are models, there's some murder, black gloves, something fucking insane's gonna happen, and then also like we're on a trip now.
This movie also starred the hottest actor to me. He's a Spanish actor named where is it? Simon Andro, I guess. I don't know how you would say it. But he's also the star of the Elo de la Iglesia film I just talked about, Forbidden Pleasures, where he plays like a gay man who picks up teenage sex workers.
Oh my God.
He's so handsome and a really good actor, and he's the male lead in this, so that was a nice treat too.
His career is insane. He was in Die Another Day and Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason. Good for him.
Long, varied career.
If you liked this one, I highly recommend watching Death Walks on High Heels. But my favorite Ercole, my favorite Luciano Ercole giallo is The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion.
Yes, I've always wanted to see that one.
Which is such a great title. It's Dagmar Lasseter. Yeah.
Sorry. These titles are just the best.
That's one of the best things about Italy is that we'll just give something the most insane title of all time.
Yeah.
Forbidden Photos is so fun. It's more in the style of the like kind of Daphne du Maurier, Alfred Hitchcock, like is my husband gonna kill me? Giallo, like melodrama style, which like a lot of like film critics like Kat Ellinger and stuff like that have described them as being like male gialli and female giallo, or like F or M giallo, and like the male giallo are always going to be like the stalk and slash, black gloves, sexy, like strip nude for your killer kind of movies. And the female gialli are like a lot more rooted in like Hitchcock movies like Suspicion, and are a lot more melodrama tinged. Orgasmo, which we talked about on the podcast, is more like that. I love Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion. I think it's super fun. All of these were released here and abroad by Arrow Video, and can be watched on the Arrow Player app, and I think Shudder.
Yes, so I did watch it on the Arrow app, I believe.
I love that you've been getting back into the Arrow app. It is
I'm loving it.
Painfully underrated.
Yeah, it's really good. How about you? Have you been watching anything cool?
I have been super busy still, but I have been putting on movies in the background while I work, and I'm really focusing this year on watching movies I've never seen before. And there's a lot of like big cultural blind spots that I've never seen, because like big Hollywood tentpole movies, they get a lot of talk from like the 90s and 2000s, stuff like that. When I was growing up, I either was too young for, or I had just truly no interest in, and growing up, I still have truly no interest in. So like, I've never seen Shawshank Redemption. I've never seen Schindler's List. I've never seen like a lot of these movies that a lot of people talk about a lot and have a lot of buzz. And so I just like, I don't get it culturally. So I've been trying to be like, put on stuff like that I've never seen. That's available. It's on streaming. They were like big fucking movies. Just put them on at least in the background while I'm working, so I can like get it. And so I finally ticked off a box this week on a really big, for its time in 2001, 2002, movie that I don't know what the cultural consensus on it since it's come out has been. I feel like maybe it's aged. I don't know. But I finally watched the multi-million-dollar New York City stopping Cameron Crowe directed Tom Cruise vehicle Vanilla Sky.
Oh, okay.
Which is a remake of the Alejandro Amenabar film Open Your Eyes from the director of The Others, which we talked about recently. And I think getting The Others made and remaking that was kind of a like deal, because it was all produced by Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking movie.
I've never seen it, I have to admit.
Deeply weird movie.
I did work at a movie theater because I was in college when it came out. and I never saw it, even though I could have seen it for free many times. At that time, I was sneaking into the theater to rewatch the movie Rat Race over and over and over again.
Weirdly, they feel connected.
They are the same era.
They feel like they have like casts in mind. Can I just read you part of the cast of Vanilla Sky for a second?
Yeah.
This is Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, and Cameron Diaz. Sure. And then you also have Kurt Russell, Jason Lee, Noah Taylor, Timothy Spall, Tilda Swinton, Michael Shannon, and Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien? What's he doing in there?
As himself.
I literally couldn't tell you one single thing about Vanilla Sky except that it somehow involves Tom Cruise. I don't know what it's about. I don't know a single thing about it. I remember the poster. It's seared into my brain.
Yeah, it's just a photo of him with clouds behind him.
Yeah, that's all I can tell you about it. What is it even about?
He's a when we were doing research for the others, I was like, oh, I should look into his other movie, and then that was Vanilla Sky. I should watch the trailer for that. The trailer for Vanilla Sky is so weird and so bad that I was kind of like, I should see this movie. Tom Cruise is like essentially playing Charles Foster Kane from Citizen Kane. He's playing like young, rich magnate playboy who like owns a publishing empire and doesn't want to be fucked to do his job ever. And he sleeps with super sexy models like Cameron Diaz, and his best friend is Jason Lee, which I don't buy for a minute, but okay. Oh, because they were in Scientology together at the time. Got it. Jason Lee is out of Scientology now, so that's good. But that explains why he was probably in this movie, other than being in Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous. And then he meets Penelope Cruz at a party, reprising her role from the movie that this is a remake of, and like falls head over heels in love with her. And then Cameron Diaz gets jealous and drives them both off a bridge to kill herself and him. That's like minute 30 of a 2.5 hour long movie. Meanwhile, this whole movie is being like narrated out of order with like an interview where Tom Cruise is in jail and being interviewed by Kurt Russell, who's a psychiatrist, saying that he's on trial for murder, and Tom Cruise is wearing like a mask over his face that doesn't move. And it's like so much of the movie is like, oh, is it a dream? Is it reality? Is he losing his mind?
Yeah.
Is he paranoid? It's all connected. And occasionally it's very interesting and very wild and like takes some really big swings, and it's like doing some interesting stuff, and the needle drops are all the fuck over the place because it's Cameron Crowe with a giant budget.
Yeah.
But then other times it will just beat you over the head with, this is what we're doing! Do you get it now? There's a scene where he's like in a relationship with Penelope Cruz and walking down the street, and they recreate that really famous Bob Dylan album cover of Bob Dylan and the girl like walking down like Brooklyn between like a row of cars, and they're like leaning on each other. It's like the exact same shot. They're dressed exactly the same. And it's in like in the middle of like a love montage. And so you watch that and you're like, oh, you're doing that Bob Dylan album cover. Cool. And then later there's a scene with Tilda Swinton and she's like, that, like album covers you liked. And it's like, oh, okay, so you were actively doing that album cover. And then 5 minutes later, Noah Taylor is like, and then even like albums that you like. And then they show the Bob Dylan cover and they fade into that scene from earlier. And you're like, I get it. Yes, Bob Dylan, I get it.
Cameron Crowe, let me go.
Cameron Crowe, you like music. I get it, buddy. I get it. The whole like Tom Cruise's like big like rich boy apartment, which is in the building that Rosemary's Baby is supposed to be set in, and Only Murders in the Building is supposed to be set in.
The Dakota.
The Dakota is like decked out in giant original French New Wave posters everywhere. And I'm just like, I get it, Cameron Crowe. I get it. Calm down.
I have to say, I'm not the biggest Cameron Crowe fan. Even Almost Famous, which people love, I thought it was a cute movie, but I'm just not interested in what he's interested in. Like the 70s has so much good music and he's like interested in the worst of it. Like
Yeah, it's true.
it's an interesting time because it's at rock music's, I'd say, zenith, when rock music is
Mm-hmm.
its most popular and its most commercial and mainstream.
And
But
he's
it's
like, "What about
also,
Three Dog Night?"
yeah, it's also the moment when rock music is its least interesting. So like the stuff that came before it, like 60s girl groups, I think is more interesting. I think the stuff that comes after it, like punk and new wave, is more interesting. But it's just like, I'm not interested in this like stadium rock 1970s moment. Like it's just not for
Yeah.
me.
There's
So
interesting stuff in that. I mean, in that
yeah,
moment, I
yeah.
love The Who, I love CCR, I love a
Love
lot of that
Fleetwood
kind of stuff.
Mac. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was having that conversation with Ivory after having watched Vanilla Sky, because Vanilla Sky is like a weird big budget oddity where I'm like, it's not great, but I'm also gonna gotta give it a little, like, I like a lot of weird shit in it, so that's
Yeah.
fine, I guess. But I was having this conversation with Ivory. I was like, what happened to Cameron Crowe? Like, he wrote Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
One of my
dire-
favorite movies.
directed Singles, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is quite good.
It's
Directed
good.
Say Anything, which was his first movie, and he was like shepherded by Polly Platt the whole way through directing that. Um, and then Jerry Maguire, I've never seen.
I don't like it. Again, I'm
I
just not interested in it. It's a
I'm not
well-made movie.
interested in, like, oh, you're a sports agent. Okay, you want me to show you money? Okay, you had me at what? Okay. Almost Famous is like one of his best movies. It's very, very, very good. It's very evocative of the time. The performances across the board are great.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vanilla Sky is a fucking mess, but it's like at least a like idiosyncratic mess where it feels like it's coming from one person and like it's interesting. And then there's Elizabethtown, which is widely
Oh God, I
credited
forgot it.
as the movie that like created the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, even though
Yeah.
I say Vanilla Sky, I kind of had that before that. Um, and then We Bought a Zoo,
Crazy.
which I have in fact seen.
Boy.
And then the last movie he's made, which was such a massive bomb and also so culturally reviled, that I don't know if he'll make anything again. The Bradley Cooper starring rom-com Aloha.
I have no recollection of this movie at all.
It's like in which Bradley Cooper plays, quote, a celebrated military contractor
Okay.
who finds love on an army base in Hawaii, with Rachel McAdams and Emma Stone with blonde hair playing an Asian Pacific Island woman.
Right.
Which, no.
Now
And it
I
also
remember.
features Danny McBride, John Krasinski, Bill Murray, and Alec Baldwin.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And on top of all of that, it's just a bad movie. Like, it's just bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Almost Famous is a great movie. It's well made. Everything about it is good, except that I'm just not interested in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not for me. That's all.
And Almost Famous is his best movie because it's the thing that he has the most experience with, because it's literally his story of being a Rolling Stone reporter as a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything
Say
else
anything.
is like...
I'm like the hugest fan of 80s teen movies. I love those John Hughes movies, even the problematic ones.
Mhm.
And I think Say Anything is one of the most overrated teen movies of all time.
I disagree. I
Most
really
people
like
do.
Say Anything. But
I like it too, but I just
like, I think Say Anything's mismarketed as a teen rom-com when it's not at all.
It's a drama. Yeah.
It's a drama about a girl's relationship with her father. Like, John Mahoney's in that movie more than John Cusack is in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, John Mahoney commits tax fraud, the movie. Like,
the best part of that movie is Lily Taylor.
Lily Taylor
who wrote 72 songs about Joe.
Yeah. She and her like best friend who have like Peppermint Patty energy, like,
yeah.
You're like, who like, she like works in a guitar store, and like, she and her best friend are gonna run away together in like 2 years once they go to college. Like,
great Seattle movie, also worth saying.
Yeah, that one's really good, and I like it a lot. It's just
it's no
Vanilla Sky
16
is
Candles.
a mess. Oh, 16 Candles is awful. Oh my
love
god.
16 Candles so much, and I know that it's aged so badly, but I just can't be mad at it. I can't. I'm sorry. It's too fundamental to my childhood.
Can I borrow you underpants just for 5 minutes?
Listen, we have to get into it. We've talked for too long about the missteps of Cameron Crowe.
But there's so much to say. Welcome to Crowcast, in which we get into what happened to Cameron Crowe.
Today we are talking about a classic of gloopy, greasy, grody horror movies. I can't believe we haven't talked about this filmmaker before. We are discussing, of course, from 1981, directed by Lucio Fulci, The Beyond.
You are Liza, aren't you?
Yes.
My name is Emily. I've been looking for you. Go back to where you came from and hurry. Leave this place.
Or you might know it under its original Italian title, And You Will Live in Terror, The Afterlife.
Or you might know it from its early 80s American re-release title when they recut it and gave it a synth soundtrack, Seven Doors of Death. This movie rules.
This movie is really fun. I first saw it in my early 20s, I guess, in sort of those early Netflix DVD days. I've watched it a couple times since. It's not one that I watch a lot, but I do like it. I do like it very much. Lucio Fulci's not my favorite of the Italians, but I do have some affection for him. What are your headlines on this movie?
I probably saw this also in my early 20s, well after I was like living in LA and being a bit of a weirdo. And I had seen See the Living Dead in college, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't really care for it. And I was like watching new horror movies every day in October one year, and this was on Shudder, and I was like, I need to finally watch The Beyond. And it floored me. I really loved it, and it made me like reassess Lucio Fulci, because I also didn't really like him that much from having seen The Black Cat and See the Living Dead at the time and stuff like that. And this movie really opened to my eyes to be like, oh no, he's doing something. He's like actively, in the same way that this is like his Suspiria. If he was Dario Argento, this is his like big, singular, surreal, artistic statement movie. And then I went back and I rewatched See the Living Dead, and I love it so much. I just this past year saw The Gates of Hell. Not The Gates of Hell. That's See the Living Dead. House by the Cemetery for the first time in theaters, and I really, really adored it. I've kind of had like an impression of Fulci from afar that he's like the grodier, more gloopy of the Italians, which is true. But I've always kind of associated him with like bearded horror bros that like only watch slasher movies, and this is the only reference for Italian filmmakers they have, and that the only interesting thing in these movies are the gore, and they just laugh at all the other stuff. And
I do think that those guys latch onto his movies, but that doesn't make them bad or him bad.
Those guys exist, and they do latch onto his movies. I was very surprised finally watching his movies like The Devil's Honey and House by the Cemetery and The Beyond, and revisiting See the Living Dead and loving it, that no, he's like close to Jean Cocteau more than he is to Wes Craven. I think he fucking rules. I'm a big fan. I watch The Beyond probably every year around Halloween. It is usually my go-to Halloween movie because it actually scares me. It's like both like an artistic weird fucking splatterfest and like genuinely upsetting and totally singular. There's just nothing like it.
You mentioned it by accident, sort of, but it is the middle of what is called the Gates of Hell trilogy, which is
Mm-hmm.
sort of like loosely connected in terms of theme and aesthetic movies by Lucio Fulci. This is probably the most famous of them, I would say, and sort of considered the best of them. What don't you think?
I think so. I think that cultural consensus kind of started in the 90s after Quentin Tarantino helped restore it and get it re-released through Grindhouse Films
Yeah.
um, in the 90s. And that because it was really, really heavily recut in, I think, 1982 when it finally got released in America and retitled
Mm-hmm.
and rescored as Seven Doors of Death. The
Which is
soundtrack
a
to this movie
shame.
is amazing.
The
It's a
score
really
is
funky little
gorgeous.
bop. And it was rescored with a more 80s and like Argento-esque synth soundtrack, which is good in its own right,
Yeah.
but does a disservice to the original soundtrack of this movie and the tone of this movie.
Well, I will say, in my mind, because I don't watch this very often, this is a 70s movie, which of course it's not. It was made in 1981. And the score and a lot of the aesthetic feels very 70s. So
Yeah.
I can imagine if I'm a film distributor in 1982, I can understand trying to make it feel more contemporary in some ways, because it does feel like it would have felt, I think, a little out of style in 1982, the score.
Yeah.
And so it would have been a mistake to change it, and it was a mistake, but like that's only with the 2020 vision of being far into the future, right? Like in the
Yeah.
moment I can understand how it would have felt like a little bit dated.
But Fulci was such like I cannot stress enough how prolific he was of a filmmaker. I mean, as a lot of Italian directors, he was like a journeyman for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
just like following genre trends. He made a lot of westerns. He made White Fang and a sequel to White Fang. He made kids movies. He
Yeah.
made screwball sex comedies. It wasn't until that he like landed in the horror genre that he really found his niche, making giallo movies in the 60s and 70s. But like by the time he made this, he was making 2 to 3 movies a year.
Yeah.
The year he made The Beyond, 1981, he also made The Black Cat, and he also made House by the Cemetery. And the year before, 1980, he'd made Contraband and City of the Living Dead. So the Gates of Hell trilogy was made 3 movies in 2 years,
In 2
while he also
years.
made 2 other movies.
That's so crazy.
5 movies in 2 years, 3 of which are a trilogy. And the Gates of Hell trilogy as a whole is truly unlike any other horror movies, I think. They have their own logic, for better or worse, that don't really relate to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Even to each other at points.
Yes.
And I think they're kind of brilliant. I mean, I guess like if you were selling them to a casual horror fan, I could see pitching it as like somewhere between the Evil Dead films and Suspiria
Yeah.
for like gore, violence, nonsensical logic
And tone.
and tone. Yeah. I don't know. I think this movie is great, and I think Catriona MacColl, who's the lead actress in all 3 movies, is really talented and really well used in this movie.
She's really
She's also
good.
game for getting goopy too, which you have to be in a Fulci movie of this era.
And she did say that this was her favorite of the 3 because she said she liked the, I think she said, Italian poetic energy that this movie is giving out, which is right. This movie follows a young woman named Liza who has inherited a old abandoned hotel in rural Louisiana. And she's kind of flopped in her life in New York City, where she was raised and where she's from. And so this, she considers her last chance to do something with her life. So she's in rural Louisiana trying to fix up this hotel where all sorts of accidents start happening. And she meets a young doctor who's handsome, and they form a romance. And slowly you start to realize that all of these accidents are happening because the hotel was built on one of the 7 gates of hell. And it kind of, I don't know, all comes to a head. I'm sort of like disassociating right now as I speak. Help me out. Is there anything else that I should mention?
I mean, the movie opens with an author and writer being like persecuted by the townsfolk
Yeah,
on the like
1927.
swamp, and like nailed into the wall, and his like book Ebon that speaks about the gates of hell is, you know, goes missing, and like as they begin to renovate the hotel, everyone working on it suffers horrible, heinous accidents, and people start dying left and right. The more that they look into it, even outside of the hotel, supernatural forces seem to be stopping them in the most horrible ways possible.
She also makes the acquaintance of a young blind girl named Emily, who seems to be a psychic and has a German Shepherd.
Who rules? Who may or may not be a ghost or something.
Yes.
Also, zombies.
There's zombies. Yeah, the hell's a poppin'. Literally, the gates fly open and zombies come out. This movie, the one thing I will say about it, I've learned to embrace this and just enjoy it for what it is. But when I first saw it, I was a little frustrated narratively because it often feels like it doesn't really make sense in a way that you can follow. And it feels like Lucio Fulci has like thought up some really cool horror set pieces and then came up with a plot to string them together. Almost like Spookies or something. But not bad like Spookies. It's better than that. But it feels like I'm going to do this set piece no matter what. So let's figure out a way to make it happen, you know?
It feels like a haunted house, like going to a haunted house attraction.
Like literally a haunted house attraction, like Universal Studios. Yeah.
It feels like that, where you're just like, they're going to be throwing something at you constantly. It doesn't matter what character it's happening to you, the audience. That's the point. Like, we follow a guy who we barely know, to go look at some books, and then spider attack. Oh fuck, shit. Oh god. Yeah. And then like when a handyman is killed in her house, we then follow his daughter at the morgue in one of the scariest sequences of the movie. And then the next time we see the daughter, she's blind too.
Yeah.
Why not?
For what reason? Sure. Yeah. This movie is filmed in Louisiana, in and around New Orleans, partially with money from the state government there. It is interesting sometimes when Europeans make movies in the U.S. set here. Mm-hmm. Like, it's an Italian movie, so it's dubbed, but it's interesting because, you know, the actress is English, and the character at some point references her good English breeding, but the person they use for the dubbing does not have an English accent. She has an American accent, sometimes quasi-Southern a little bit. So that's interesting. At one point she says, oh, if I'm not successful at this, I'm going to have to go on relief, which is like a European term for welfare, which is something we don't especially have in the United States, frankly. And we certainly don't call it relief. I did notice a sign in the hospital that says, do not entry. So it's like, I do sort of love Europeans talking about America a little bit.
I mean, I love all of those elements to this movie too, because it makes it feel more unreal and more like a dream.
Yeah.
Fulci works best when you approach him with the logic of surrealism. If you like see him through the lens of Jean Cocteau or Buñuel, or of like, yeah, my fucking boy.
Your boy.
Like, of like, if this movie feels like a nightmare. That's like it doesn't have to have a logic to it, because if it follows a dream logic that like loosely connects the characters, the events, like, you know, something horrible is going to happen. Again, the spider attack scene is so great because like the guy's like paralyzed with fear.
Yeah.
And is down on the floor, and you slowly have the spiders going up and like eating him.
You watch
super
them like pop open his tongue or something. It's really gross.
It's really disgusting. But like, logically, there could be a myriad of ways for him to get away. He doesn't. He sits there and it happens.
Well, also, never mind that. Like, where are the spiders coming from? Why are they attacking him? And so the first time I saw this, I admit, like, that stuff sort of frustrated me a little bit. But now I just sort of like, this is surrealist, and just enjoy it for what it is.
I think it's great. And especially if you watch the Gates of Hell trilogy in order, I think City of the Living Dead does a really good job of like forcing you to look at that mindset, especially in its production design and the use of the fog. in that city. And then if you keep it through the Beyond kind of being like a middle climax of that, then you get to like calm back down with House by the Cemetery. And if you approach House by the Cemetery with that mindset, you're gonna fucking love that movie, instead of like all the horror bros that I know that are just like, the movie's so fucking bad, that kid's so fucking annoying, nothing happens. Like, nope, you're wrong. It's fucking great. Masterpiece. There's so many insane fucking sequences in this. One of my favorite ones is when the girl is in the morgue visiting her father,
who's dead, who's had his eyes poked out.
Which again will be a theme in all Fulci movies. He's got a thing for eyes.
I mean, it's a thing. There's so much of it in this movie. At least 3 people get their eyes poked out in this movie, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's like a whole like kind of like move where they pinch their eyes too, the zombies, and like then you also like you have those like crusty blind contacts that the
there's
blind
definitely
people are wearing.
A theme of blindness. Like 3 different people go blind, people getting their eyes poked out, all of the bodies laying down in spoiler alert, hell are eyeless. It's certainly a thing.
I mean, obviously, there's a really famous set piece in Fulci's movie Zombie, in which a woman forcibly has her eye gouged out by a zombie through like a piece of wood, and you just have to like watch her head get closer to it. Super upsetting. It rules. I don't really go in for like crazy gore splatter stuff. He does it in such a fun way that like it scares me, it repulses me, it makes me queasy, but I am also like hooting and hollering at the same time. When the girl is in the morgue, she like backs up, knocks over, spills a bottle of like acid, and it falls on one of the corpses of her mother, right?
Yeah, her mother's body laying on the ground,
who is now suddenly dead too.
Yeah.
And it just like oozes up like pink foam.
Right.
Like the blood and acid mixed together into like an oozing pink foam that like follows her and forces her into a cooler full of other bodies. It's just,
I mean, the gore for me feels like sort of innocent in a way. It feels like from a more innocent time, because I know, having kind of lived through it, that in 1981 this would have felt like so disgusting and so trashy. But now it feels like such a throwback, because it doesn't look real, but it is effective in a lot of cases. It is like, it makes your skin crawl in a good way in a lot of cases, but it's not like something more contemporary like a Saw film or something like that, which is to me more gruesome and more realistic. So
yeah, I can't with the Saw and Hostel as much, because they're so deeply rooted in the realism, and also deeply rooted in showing you everything all the time. And Fulci shows you a fucking lot more than you would expect, but it's all practical stuff. It all like has the ability to be read as real and as fake at the same time, which I strongly appreciate and enjoy. And I just find his movies so charming and spellbinding. Like I never notice the lack of plot when I'm watching them. I really get spun up into it because the set pieces are so well orchestrated.
They're really fun. I mean, I definitely noticed the lack of plot, but not in a bad way. More in just like, well, does this make sense? Not really. But that's okay. I mean, you kind of just let it wash over you the way that you would, it's like the way that I look at a painting,
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like because of that, Fulci kind of got like relegated to like, oh, he's a splatter guy. He makes zombie movies and monster movies, and the Beyond Gates of Hell and stuff like that always kind of get lumped in with his zombie movies, which are literally called Zombie. Zombie 3 and whatnot. And so it's very easy to like lump them in with that, I guess. But I think he's doing a lot more. He's making art pieces. He's making big mood pieces that like, I think these have more to say about our perceptions of death, our perceptions of nightmares. And just, he's truly just like a conductor of fear in these movies in a way that I feel like, Stephen King and William Castle wish they were.
I occasionally go onto YouTube and watch just the end scene from this, like a couple times a year, because I really do think it's one of the most beautiful, but also frightening moments from horror film, period. I just like the final moments of this are so breathtakingly beautiful and haunting that I just love them. I seek to recreate it in some way at some point. Like I've shown it to directors of my plays in the past and things like that. Like I just absolutely love it so much.
His production design is crazy because these are always shot on like no budget whatsoever or near to no budget. And that final scene is so beautiful. A lot of the scenes in the house, like both the house and the house that the blind woman lived in,
gorgeous.
Are so gorgeous. There's a little cafe they go to in New Orleans for a minute where she has a nice little like phosphate. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, and the like opening sequence that's in like sepia is so gorgeous. He like does have an aesthetic eye. He does like he's deeply rooted in that, but then he fucks it up and then he muddies it up with gore and guts and like pus.
Yeah. The house that is the old hotel was not a dilapidated abandoned house. They made it look that way, and they had to pay to restore it because they ruined the original hardwood floors with all their distressing. And then the other house where Emily lives, that beautiful house, it turns out is the same place where they shot Louis Malle's film Pretty Baby with Brooke Shields.
Oh my God.
That's that house.
Also written by Polly Platt.
Yes.
The Cameron Crowe, the Crow cast coming back around to Polly Platt.
Exactly. I mean, everything can kind of come back to Polly Platt pretty quickly.
This is true. Fulci would have had a bigger reputation in Hollywood had he been produced by Polly Platt. Let me just tell you this.
That's true. She's a kingmaker.
Truly. I don't know. I adore these movies and the like very unique logic that he has going on. I don't know what kind of deal he got that he was able to make, just basically whatever I can't imagine the pitch meeting for The Beyond, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you like succinctly sell this? I can get how you succinctly sell City of the Living Dead a little bit, and I can get how you succinctly sell House by the Cemetery, but this one is insane. I also think it's really, really impressive how the zombie genre was birthed in the late 60s with Night of the Living Dead. It didn't really like blow up until Dawn of the Dead, which for listeners was recut in Italy by Dario Argento and rescored with Goblin music and released there as Zombie. And so Fulci's movie Zombie in Italy is known as Zombie 2, and this is all deeply confusing. So like in 78, the zombie genre blows up, and there's like Italy has already abandoned the giallo to a large degree, and then goes whole hog into these zombie movies and cannibal movies, and a lot of like they were making a lot of Cannibal Holocaust ripoffs too. And Fulci is like the first guy to go all in on that and makes the best of those movies. And then 2 or 3 years later is like using the template of those and using the aesthetics of those as a piece of a larger supernatural, like unique narrative.
Right, because this is really a haunted house movie.
It's really a haunted house movie. But then you get the big zombie set piece at the end of The Beyond where like he has to shoot him in the head with a revolver, and like he gets like it's got all of those George Romero aspects, but they're just being used to service a larger like story about nightmares and about like the coming of death. I feel like this movie has less in common with George Romero than it does Val Lewton. Personally,
there's also an energy to this movie that's a little bit like, it kind of gives the feeling of some of those movies like Rosemary's Baby or I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ones, like sort of paranoid woman films of the 60s and 70s,
Hmm.
or like Gothic. It's Southern Gothic. That's what it is. That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
for. It's kind of like giving a little bit of Daphne du Maurier, or, you know, it's gloopier than that and gorier and more violent, but that energy is definitely there.
Like Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte and
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's absolutely there. And I can see very much like from an aesthetic and logical place how something like I Walked with a Zombie turns into this, or
Mm-hmm.
how Cat People turns into this. And I think this should have become a whole genre unto itself. I think there should be 17 more movies like this. I think people should have been ripping off Fulci and making more stuff like this. There's been one movie, as far as I know, directed by Ted Geoghegan. Is that, I don't know how that's pronounced his name.
Gagan.
Called Ted Geoghegan, called We Are Still Here, which is a direct homage to House by the Cemetery in particular, but to Fulci in general, which is a wonderful movie. It's a very good movie, and it gets the vibe of Fulci spot on. It gets the thematic logic that he's going for, and the rumination on like the persistence of death and the acceptance of death. But I love that these movies have been like rediscovered and restored. I want to see their influence elsewhere in the world. I don't see it enough.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that people like Quentin Tarantino like this stuff, but I don't know through what lens he likes this stuff, if you know what I mean.
I have such a weird, I've never talked about this on the show. I have a really weird connection to Ted Geoghegan, who does not really know me, even though we've met many times. But so my childhood best friend, Jeff, in rural Washington State, when we were teenagers, moved to Montana, where he became best friends with Ted Geoghegan, then called TJ. So we share a childhood best friend. And then we all moved to New York City. So we're all living in New York City for many years, where I met Ted Geoghegan many times, even though he never treated me like anyone that he'd ever, like every time it was like he was meeting me afresh.
Yeah.
And so I have a VH copy of a tape of a movie that my friend Jeff made on VHS in the 90s, starring Ted Geoghegan, then TJ Geoghegan, called Latter-day Saints. And it's pretty funny. It's sort of like Jeff doing John Waters or Greg. It's sort of like Blonde Death, actually.
That's so cool.
Ted Geoghegan is the star of it, and it's never been released. And it's just like a weird connection I have to that man who has no idea who I am. Although he doesn't follow me on Twitter and never has. But when we did early on, we did an episode on Audition, and in the tweet I was like, "Here, kitty, kitty," and he was like, "Actually, it's Japanese, kitty, kitty, or kitty, kitty, or whatever." And I was like, "I know, Ted. I was being funny." You know what I mean? So I don't know. I have weird feelings towards him.
I love Ted. Ted's really nice. I did the artwork for We Are Still Here's Mondo vinyl release a few years ago, and he's been a big supporter of my stuff.
Well, great. Since. He's not a big supporter of me or our show.
Well, we'll have him on and hash it out, and we could talk about House by the Cemetery or something.
I shouldn't be shit talking about powerful people on do you know what I mean? Like,
he's a delightful person. Yeah. These movies are so singular and unique, this whole trilogy. If you had to pair The Beyond with a movie not made by Lucio Fulci for a double feature, what's your choice? What's your pick?
The Sentinel.
Oh my fucking God, you're so correct.
Right?
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
That's like... The Sentinel may be the most non-Fulci movie ever made. It's also about a gate to hell. It's also about a paranoid woman who becomes blind.
It's got a blind psychic in it.
It also makes no fucking sense.
It makes no sense at all.
It also has gothic melodrama. Oh my God. I think we've unlocked something here.
Yeah.
Wow. This makes a lot of sense why Ivory loved The Sentinel so much when we showed it to her.
Yeah.
She loves these Fulci movies. When I showed her City of the Living Dead for the first time, I assume you've seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
When I showed her that for the first time, I filmed her reaction to when a character throws up her own intestines. I've never seen someone's jaw whiter for so long. For like 3 minutes straight, she was jaw on the floor, like eyes wide open, like sitting forward. And I like filmed all of it. So funny. I fucking love these movies so much.
I am not a gore person generally, but and not that I'm not offended by it or I'm not a prude about it or anything like that. It's just like not one of my aesthetic buttons, you know? But with these movies, there's something about them that just feels about the gore that feels charming to me because it feels innocent in a weird way, even though at the time it was just so trashy and disgusting. Like with hindsight, it feels like kind of cute in a weird way.
Yeah. The like kind of like cozy trashy gore is my favorite. Like this, the Evil Dead movies, all those early Peter Jackson movies like Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Are the same ilk, where like, which those two are comedies.
Yes.
I can't think of any other ones that aren't comedies that are as like bombastically splatter as this, that are still kind of like cozy. I just, man, this movie's like a warm blanket for me. This whole trilogy, when it's October, I put these on in the background of Halloween parties without music on. My fucking company Halloween party like a year or two ago at my last agency, they were like multiple DJs work there, so they like had people spinning, and then they're like, Drew, you should just like program some stuff to put on like visually. And I was like, okay, and I just put the Beyond on silent to play under the music, and there were kids there, and I was like, oh, I think I need to change this.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
I think Evil Dead would make a great double feature with this as well.
The first one.
I know this isn't most people's opinion. I prefer the first Evil Dead movie to the second
I do
one.
too.
I love the second one, but I like it. I like the more earnest take on that material.
I love the Evil Dead. I love that first Evil Dead movie so much.
And it scares the shit out of me, even though it's campy.
So fucking scary.
It really scares me.
Yeah, I feel like that Evil Dead remake from 2013 would also pair really well with the Beyond, because that's like an outrageously gory movie.
Yes.
Evil Dead Rise would also pair very well. That movie is very, very good and underrated.
Yeah, agree. Well, let's move on to our favorite game, Have They Seen It? The game where we speculate wildly whether notable figures had seen this movie. I have a very random person, but I'll tell you how I got there. My person is Bridget Fonda. And here's how I got there. Because I was like, Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell. She was in Army of Darkness, but kind of cut out of most of it. That's how I got there. So do you think Bridget Fonda has seen this movie?
No way in hell.
No, yeah, totally.
No.
There's no way.
Highly doubt it. I really, really do not think she has. Would be dope if she has. Like, yeah. Maybe she and Sam Raimi and Bruce all hung around and watched tapes of Fulci movies around the time they were making that. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
She doesn't seem like a horror person to me, but she could be. Like, being in an Evil Dead movie is like a pretty good
acting. She's really good.
I was gonna say, when
the last movie she was in, I think it's Jackie Brown. And she hasn't worked in a really long time. And it's by choice. She decided not to be an actor. It's not like she flopped or anything, but
no, I mean, I also read that she's married to Danny Elfman.
Oh, is she? Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Did you know that
she Lake Placid in '99?
Oh, okay.
So she's done a few horror movies. Yeah, maybe that was her last one. God damn.
The '90s was definitely.
Yeah.
Did you know
the last thing she did was a mini series in 2002 called Snow Queen?
Wow. Did you know that Danny Elfman and Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth were high school boyfriend and girlfriend?
Oh my god.
Isn't that so wild and cool? They're
the same age? High.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they went to Hollywood High School together.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cute. I love both of them so much.
Me too.
He's so hot. She's so hot.
I mean, she's Kim Gordon. She has a song that like Gen Z is going crazy for, and they're like, this 70-year-old woman released this really cool song, and it's like, yeah, she's Kim Gordon from Sonic
she's
Kid.
Kim Gordon, guys. She kind of rules.
I think it's great.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
So Bridget Fonda doesn't know, though.
So Bridget Fonda doesn't know. Katrina McCall, the lead in this. I mostly just know her from the Fulci movies. However, she did another she did a film in the 70s, right before this, in 1979, for another super famous European auteur filmmaker that was filmed in Japan, or at least financed by Japan, but about the French Revolution.
Okay.
She was in Lady Oscar, from 1979, which is a live action adaptation of an anime directed by Jacques Demy.
Whoa!
Of Umbrellas of Cherbourg fame.
Yeah, I was ready to look up who this director was because like, I'm not going to have any idea who this is, but I know who Jacques Demy is.
Yeah. Do you think Jacques Demy has seen The Beyond?
Wow. I couldn't think of somebody who's further away from The Beyond in terms of like aesthetics and stuff like that. I want to say no, but I assume he's a very well-watched person. But I think not.
The idea of Jacques Demy in Agnes Varda in like 1980, 1981, like cozying up at home with the VHS tapes and popcorn and their cats to watch a Fulci movie is so adorable to me.
Yeah. I mean,
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I don't think they would have liked it either, furthermore, because I was going to say, I get the sense that Fulci is somebody whose status has been elevated through time, right? Like I get a sense that he would have been considered like pretty trashy.
Yeah, very, very much so. A lot of these movies were video nasties.
Yes, this was a video
in England
nasty
at the time.
In England, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think not.
Yeah, I doubt it. But come on, he would have loved it.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jacques Demy, he would have loved The Beyond.
I'm trying to think of other filmmakers that could kind of go either way. And I just thought of the filmmaker Robert Eggers. Do you think he's seen this?
I think he has. I feel like Robert Eggers would love this. I would love to see Robert Eggers remake The Beyond.
He'd do
I feel
a great
like
job.
He would like write out the Ebon book like in full detail and like I feel like Robert Eggers could absolutely make more full like a Fulci-esque movie if he ever wanted to.
Yeah.
Like between The Witch and what was the last one that he made that you liked? The big Muscle Man movie?
The Northman.
The Northman? Yeah, I just call it the Muscle Man movie.
He-Man the movie.
His Conan. I feel like he absolutely has it in him to do that. And also, like, I don't know if you saw recently, but they chose a director to make the next Evil Dead installment, who's a French director. And like Bruce Campbell announced it and it's gonna be this thing, and they're like continuing the Evil Dead movies in kind of like separate installments and like expanding the world of the Evil Dead. And I'm just thinking, is there any like living producer that's connected to the Gates of Hell trilogy? Because there's 7 Gates of Hell canonically in these movies. You could absolutely be like greenlighting and making new movies in the same vein as these.
Yes, absolutely.
And making them now, and they would be fucking terrific.
Yeah, I had so many good ideas for like because they said that there are 3 books of Necronomicon in the last one, I think, and I was like, God, you could do one that's like in the Old West. That would be so cool. Like you could just do it in different places and different times. It's such a fun idea.
Yeah, I would love so much to get in on the whatever kind of creative world building is happening in the Evil Dead canon right now. I would love. There's so many incredible ways into that. You could make an Old West one. You could make something set in medieval times. You could make a French Revolution set Evil Dead movie. You could set it in feudal Japan.
I was going to say, feudal Japan. Yeah, that would be so good.
Like Ani Baba meets Evil Dead. Let's fucking go.
That sounds so good.
Oh my God. Do you have anyone else?
Are we done? I can't remember.
I did one. You did one.
We only did one each?
Yeah. Okay. You have to keep going.
Okay. Let me think. No, I did 2. Bridget and Kim Gordon. Robert Eggers.
Yes. Robert Eggers. Okay. So it's
my turn. I need to do one more.
I need to do one. As we mentioned a lot in the beginning segment of this podcast, Crowcast, Polly Platt was an incredible producer in the Hollywood New Wave and was apparently connected to the production of this solely by having her movie Pretty Baby filmed in the same location. Do you think Polly Platt ever took the time to watch Lucio Fulci's The Beyond?
No. And I also feel like she would hate it if she had. So you think?
Yeah, she was a huge cinephile, had incredible taste.
Of course.
I mean, when you're married to Peter Bogdanovich, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. By the way, have you listened to Peter Bogdanovich's new podcast?
What?
Peter Bogdanovich, a dead man, has a new podcast.
Excuse me? What are you talking? Is this a trick? What is
this? This is a real thing. Peter Bogdanovich has a new podcast.
Okay.
So, months before he died, he recorded interviews for a podcast called One Handshake Away with filmmakers like Rian Johnson, Guillermo del Toro, Quentin Tarantino, Ken Burns for some reason, talking with them about the filmmakers that he interviewed when he was young in his 20s, like John Ford, Alfred Hitchcock, Orson Welles. And then he had conversations with these contemporary directors about the older directors in the 40s and stuff like that, because he is like the connective tissue between those eras. And then he passed like 4 months later, and his ex-wife has finished the series and gotten Guillermo del Toro to do interviews for the final installments with Greta Gerwig and a few other people. And it's really good.
Yeah,
it's the really last thing Bogdanovich ever did, and it's really sad to listen to because a lot of the conversations revolve around death, especially when they're talking about like Orson Welles and Hitchcock. Yeah. And a lot of it is him being like, "Oh yeah, I've got this script idea, and I'm trying to get this one made, and I'm really excited to get back to directing." And you're like, he had 2 months.
Yeah,
he had 2 more months at that point. It's really, really, really good, and it's really cute to hear him like in conversation with Rian Johnson.
Yeah,
like, it's adorable.
I love that.
Highly recommend.
Well, that's it for this episode of Bloodhaus. If you liked it, please rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at bloodhousepod. Drusilla, what are your social media handles?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. There's new posters up there for an awesome new horror movie that's coming out. Go fucking check that one out. Also for a Jenny Slate stand-up special and a bunch of other kooky, crazy stuff that apparently I work on. There's also prints for sale there if you would like some. And you can follow me on Instagram at Hyde Sister. And if you look for Sister Hyde or Drusilla Adeline on Letterboxd, you can follow me there. And think about my question about why there's so many hot sauce bottles on Tilda Swinton's desk in Vanilla Sky. Josh, what about you? Where is the tome of your life that people can read and open up a gate of hell?
It's at LiveJournal. At Joshua Conkel.
Oh, please drop the LiveJournal. I know it's out there.
Oh, it is out there. I'm at Joshua Conkel on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Instagram. Next week, we are staying in Europe and watching a movie that I saw recently and loved, and you have not yet seen, but I know that you will like. What is it?
I'm excited to take a cozy countryside stroll with you, Josh, as we delve into And Soon the Darkness. 2 movies that start with "and" back to back.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Bye.